there, Cindy Daychuck with Queen Bee Creations, and I'm coming at you today with another little Christmas tree craft. So if you haven't already subscribed, I invite you to do so, and if you find this informative, entertaining, enjoyable in any way, give us the thumbs up. What I am going to do is I'm taking this styrofoam cone and I'm going to cover it in Sola Wood flowers. Now I got these from the States, so if you're in the States, cool. If you're in Canada, you can get them shipped up here. I will drop the link to the company that I used. There's no discount, it's just the company I used. But they are very cool. I mean, they're dyeable, they are soft, they're easy to be able to use, they're nice and light. And what we're gonna do is we're going to kind of glue them all around. So in essence, and here's a little shorty guy as an example, we make a little floral covered tree. And they're pretty cute. So what I have done is I have nailed on just a piece of a wooden dowel that I had left over. And I am going to glue it up into my cone. So all I did is I took that dowel and I kind of pushed it in and turned it around so that I created a bit of a hole there. Okay? Sorry, I just need a little bit more glue in here. And I can hear that glue just slowly melting away at my styrofoam. But I just want to kind of turn this around, get that glue everywhere on it, and hold my base nice and straight. So what I have done with my flowers is I've kind of sorted them a little bit by size, just so that I could go from larger to smaller, which just sort of makes sense. And I do have some that are a little bit two-tone and some that are plain, and I think it may be interesting to alternate that. So I'm going to take these kind of almost daisy looking ones with the dark center, which I think are kind of awesome. And I'm going to be leaving the wood base, and I'll drop in the link that I got these off of Amazon. I use them for so many projects. You'll see me referring to them. So they're very affordable. These ones are really nice. They're really sanded smooth, so I don't have to do extra work with them. And I'm gonna leave this natural as well because it kind of works well with my flowers. If I had dyed these, which you can just dilute paint and drop these into it, let them dry off, then it might be a different thing, but I'm gonna be leaving them natural. So that natural wood kind of works for me. And this first row, I want to leave hanging down a little bit. So you'll see that I offset it so that it's dropping down. That's gonna break up. It's not gonna seem as tall of a stem. And that's going to kind of, as well, just make it a little bit more interesting, make it look like the tree branches are hanging a little bit. And I just need to sort of hold these in place a little bit, just to let that glue dry. Now I will say this, gluing onto styrofoam with the hot glue, it's a little iffy in the sense that the styrofoam just sort of doesn't dissolve a little bit, but kind of breaks up a little bit. So giving them extra dry time is perfect. Using something like the Gorilla Glue sticks as well, I find a little bit more helpful with something like this too. That I just think that it's a stronger glue. This side is set up. This side is still working on it. And because I'm going to alternate these flowers, so I'm going to alternate these dark-edged ones with just some plain sort of carnation-y ones. I'm just going to make sure that I'm working on opposite sides. So once you have this first row done, it gets easier because this glued on first row serves almost like a break for the other flowers, that as you're gluing them on, they have something that's holding them in place, and you're able to move a little faster at putting the rest together. All right, once you got your first row on, it's now just a matter of choosing which florals you want and starting to glue them down into place. And for this, we did the first in a circle. The rest, don't feel like you have to go around in spirals, that you can kind of flip out directions. You can use them to fill in gaps in whatever way makes sense. Here I'm popping this flower in down here, just holding it in place a little bit until it firms up, just because it had a long stem on it. And it just takes longer actually for these to firm up against the styrofoam. The styrofoam doesn't necessarily want anything to stick to it. Not as much as if it was like a wood base. Once it's firmed up, it's good, but we just want to give it time to kind of adhere, and multiple points are sometimes good as well. But again, now you have the option to, you can glue the new flowers to the existing flowers. Now that your base is all solid, it helps the rest of the flowers to kind of stick down as well. I might need a couple more of those guys, because I'm liking them. Some more of the little browns. So you're just kind of mixing and matching. And with these Sola flowers, they come in these big bags like this, and you've got a variety of sizes and colors. I like the ones, these ones are called non-thrift. You could get bags of just white and cream. Those ones are stripped, which means it has none of this brown element on it. And then they also have colored ones, so you can buy them already pre-colored too, if you would like, if you don't want to have to, do that yourself. So I am just going to kind of take my time at attaching more of my flowers all the way around, just kind of in ways that make sense, that they fit. I didn't, because we're doing cream, I could have pre-painted my styrofoam cream if I was worried about it showing. Certainly if I had dyed these a particular color, then I would paint my styrofoam in the same color, so that if any of my styrofoam shows, it wouldn't matter. Because this is white and cream, it's really not as big a deal either. But again, now occasionally you get one that kind of sticks out a little too far. You can go ahead and take scissors and cut off the backing of that if you need to kind of get it to kind of sit a little flatter for you. You'll see that they're tied off though, so don't go lower than the tie. Otherwise you're going to end up with just loose petals. here you go. You can see I'm just kind of nestling it down in there and just holding it in place while it has a chance to be able to dry. And all the other petals just kind of push out of the way quite easily, quite nicely. It's not a problem. So I'm just going to carry on gluing these babies onto the form, and I'll come back to you when I'm toward the top. Okay, we are in the finishing gluing stages of our tree. Before we do the whole glue thread cleanup, because it's like a mess of cobwebs. But I'm just looking at adding the last couple of elements on here, but I'm leaving the top sort of open with the idea that I can then kind of glue one flower down to the top there. And I'm thinking that I'm going to take one of the rose florals, so the ones that look kind of like little roses, and oh, cut too low on that one. It's just all coming apart. Where's a cute little one? Okay. That one just on the top. All right, apart from all of the glue threads cleanup, this is what our tree ends up looking like. I think that looks super cute. And here's the thing, the Sola Wood flowers, even shipping here to Canada, I mean, they are just light as air. So from the shipping cost, the box weighs more than the flowers do. And you can buy like a small little pack of them, so you don't have to have a huge big case. And there's so many different options of things, just pulling the threads, of things that you can do with them in terms of where you can add them into other crafts and things. So they are a really handy little item to have on hand. But I gotta tell you, I love the look of just this natural tree. No need for other embellishments. I don't think it needs a bow. I mean, you could certainly do that if you want. You could add bling to it if you want. I love it like this. I love it in its natural state. I think that little wood stand is just perfect for it. I'll take some closer pics for you, but I hope that you give this a try. I mean, it's a different look and certainly a fun little look. And I think if you did a number of trees kind of in different sizes, be a super cute look as well for you for Christmas. Let me know how it goes if you give it a try. Again, I'll put the links down in there for you so that you can, saves you searching around if necessary. Yeah, I'm digging it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it. Take care.